Hello everybody, it's Nicole here and welcome back to the Imagine Crafts channel. I have a fun project for you today, and believe it or not, it is quite quick and simple. We're going to be focusing on this amazing embossing on the metal tin, and you're just going to be blown away at how easy this is. All right, to get started, these are the things you're going to need. You're going to need a metal tin. Now this happens to be a larger tin. Of course, you can do something that's smaller, Altoid size. It could even already have paint on it. It would still work. So this just happened to be something that I had. So you need a metal tin. You need a stencil. And in the sample, I used the Deco Wallpaper Stencil by Altenew, but today I'll be using the Feeling Dotty stencil. And you'll need a piece of paper to grab your extra embossing powder. So pick your favorite emboss powder from Imagine. Today we'll be using New Year's Eve. It's a really cool combination of black and gold and some silver glitter in there. And then you need either a Versamark pad or your Versamark reinker and a sponge dauber. So that's all we need to get started. And this is so simple. You'll think, wow, I didn't even know I could emboss on metal. Well, you can. And it is just really cool. So it's just like embossing on anything else. You're going to use an anti-static bag, and you really want to make sure that you're getting lots of it on there. You see how heavy I have it on there? I really want to make sure that I'm not going to have any strays. So I get it all over. All right, so that's one other thing that you're going to need is an anti-static bag for sure. And then I'm just going to take my stencil, and the reason I have this open is because the stencil is larger than the container, and I want to make sure that it lays as flat as possible. So I'm going to get this nice and lined up, making sure that all of my dots are even. So if you're using something that has a geometric pattern on it, you'll want to make sure that you have it centered nicely on your tin. And I just have it taped up on the top there, so that way when I'm adding my Versamark, I get good coverage. So you can daub it like this with your pad, but I find that it's easier to use a sponge dauber and the reinker, because then I can hold with one hand and really have good control. So I'm just going to make a little pool of the reinker right here and just grab it with my finger dauber here, and then sponge in all of these spaces. So just like normal, and you can even swish it around like so. You just want to make sure that you're keeping your stencil nice and close to the metal, and that it's not shifting around. And when you get down here to where your hand is holding it, you just need to gently move your hand up here and get in that bottom section. All right, so since I have it taped on, I can lift it up and I can see if I have good coverage. And I do, and I have quite a bit extra up top where I was actually daubing. So I am going to pull some of that off and get that back down here. All right, so I see that I have really good coverage, and you can even see that in the video because I have so much of the anti-static powder on there that you can really tell. So I'm just going to pull that off and open up my paper here. Because I'm going to be using a lot of the embossing powder, I wanted to make sure I had a good place for it to land. Of course, we have it in these handy bags. So I'm just going to spread it across the top here, being very generous with it. And now just move it all across. All right, and you can see I've got really good coverage. And now I'm going to flip it over. Just make sure I get a lot of that stray off of there. Okay, so I'm really loving the way this looks. I do have some areas where there was lighter coverage, so it's a little more grungy. I think that looks really awesome. I'm going to clean this up and then we'll come back and heat it, and you'll see what the final result looks like. All right, now that I have all of my powder put away, I'm just going to go ahead and heat this up. I can use the high setting, so if you have a heat tool that has 2 speeds on it, of course, you can use the high setting. So just get this warmed up and just go to town with heating this up. So the key to this is just making sure that you get the embossing powder to activate and that you don't miss any spots. I mean, it's just basically the same as embossing on anything else, but you're going to get this gorgeous results with the metal underneath. And of course, because this particular embossing powder has the glitter in it, it looks really quite amazing. All right, now that this is completely heated up, it just looks amazing. I've got those hints of gold and the black in there, and it has glitter on it, but it doesn't come off because it's all been heated into place. So like I said, this is just a really cool grungy look using this particular stencil, but you can get all sorts of different looks. You can use the tin then for a gift, or if you wanted to make it into a mini journal or a little keepsake box, there's all sorts of things that you can do with a decorated tin like this. So I hope you enjoyed today's project, and if you did, don't forget to click on that subscribe button to follow along with all of the amazing designers this year at the Imagine Crafts channel. I'll be back soon with another video, but until next time, happy crafting!